Konoe brought his face close enough to feel the downy fur of his opponent's ears and stared into Sin's eyes. And then they kissed. A rough breath escaped, filled with pent-up anger. Probably should have killed him. But we'll see if that comes back to bite us or not. Orphans. What a trivial thing. When other cats talked about it, it didn't matter. Still, when other cats pointed it out, Konoe felt angry. He had respected his parents over anyone else. Konoe had a memory from when he was young, when his mother told him, "You are a precious child of this earth, and you are loved." But what was love? What is love? Baby, don't baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. Konoe couldn't answer it. Something like that didn't seem real to him. It seemed important, despite being impossible to understand. Without pausing his feet, Konoe surveyed his surroundings. No matter how much noise he'd made, no other cats had exited their homes. No other cats had exited their homes. It was normal in Karou. The battles, and their victims. Maybe some of them even thought it was good that the other cats had died. Because maybe that way, they could overcome the starvation just a little longer. Yeah, that's a rough situation to be in, for sure. The evening moon dyed the sky red. Something stirred inside him. Maybe something exciting would come to pass, so he thought. Like maybe you hook up with the traitor kitty cat boy? Is that an option? On his way to the village entrance, he stopped. Another territorial dispute was taking place. 3 cats were fighting, 2 versus 1. Maybe 2 of them were Toga and Sanga. His eyes narrowed unintentionally. Sanga and Toga. They fought in tandem. One the singing cat and the other the fighting cat, respectively. The Toga's fighting abilities were nothing unusual. Many of the Karou cats were Toga, but the Sanga's powers were decided from the moment they were brought into the world. So there's different kinds of cats. There's like kin, or kind of reminds me of Vampire the Masquerade, where they all belong to different houses and they had different abilities based on their bloodlines. Only those with an innate power could develop into a sanga. The role of the sanga was to support the toga through a special song. Oh, so they're like bards in D&D, they buff us. There were many kinds, those who sang or played musical instruments, or those who gave out the melody from their very bodies. That gave a strength to the toga. Holy shit. That gave strength to the toga. A toga with a sanga and without one, the difference was vast. I'm just realizing that word is probably sanga, like, as in I sanga. Such a scene was now unfolding before Konoe's eyes. He'd heard rumors of it in Karou, but this was the first time he'd actually seen it in action. The toga brandished his sword, and the sanga clasped his hands in front of his chest, closing his eyes. The opposing toga shuddered, knowing he should be afraid. Desperate, the foe raised his voice in a cry and rushed towards the sanga. If the sanga was killed, the chances of winning became greater. The support of a sanga was too great a threat. While the toga brandished his blade, the sanga opened his eyes. A singing voice sounded. No, rather than a voice, it was a sound that resounded within his ears. The body of the sanga shone brightly, and the light flowed to the toga. The toga received this song and was gone within another moment. No, he was not gone. When Konoe finally realized it, the toga had already buried his sword deep in the chest of his opponent. It all happened in a split second. The cat that was pierced by the sword fell to the ground, his face contorted with pain. Such was the power of the sanga. Cats were unusually agile on their feet, but this speed was incredible. Having a sanga around meant victory or defeat. The sanga and toga pair left without even casting another glance at the dead cat. Feeling like he was trapped in a dream, Konoe remembered to exhale. His heart beat like a drum. His head felt hot. Wide excitement whirled in his body. He wondered what it was like to receive power from a sanga's song. After a moment, he became aware that his tail was stiff and puffed out. Once they left, there was only dead silence. The victim's breath had been cut short with just one blow. The smell of blood hung in the air. Sooner or later, this body would be collected as a sacrifice. As food. Konoe was hesitant about just leaving it there. He approached the corpse. Its face was frozen in a fearful expression. It was the look of a person who did not want to die. Konoe put his hands on both sides of the body and lifted it up. He tried to drag it to the forest, but stopped. Oh. There was another person here. Konoe clicked his tongue. A shadow hid in the bushes of the forest. Maybe it wasn't alive. When he sniffed, he smelled a faint but horribly disgusting odor. The shadowy corpse had a faint puddle of liquid around it, like a puddle of rain. Konoe lowered his eyebrows. The void attacked him. The corpse could not return to the earth. The body had decayed but could not melt into the earth, so all it could do was build up on top of the dirt. Just outward appearances were nothing when trying to find traces of the void. Konoe put the corpse he was holding in another place, away from there. When he looked at the corpse, he recalled the scream from last night. Of course, this cat didn't want to die, but still, death seemed like a form of salvation now. At least, it was better than being a sacrifice. Konoe turned his back and began to run. Some time had passed, so he needed to hurry to the village entrance. Konoe saw a lonely shadow standing by the side of the entrance to the village, and quickened his pace. The cat in profile had heavy baggage at his feet, and was looking up at the sky. It was definitely Tokono. Tokono heard his footsteps and raised his ears, a smile crossing his face. Aw, you're adorable. Oh, Konoe. Sorry to keep you waiting. Oh, no problem. It's been around Moon, right? You seem well. You too. Konoe was actually more glad than he expected to be. He didn't know exactly why, but Tokono's bright demeanor made him smile. In this world, methods to count the dates were passed down from the time of 2 canes. The time between the rise of the moon of light and setting of the moon of shadow was 1 day. 7 days were called a 7 moon, and 30 cycles made a round moon. No one knew just why the 7th and the 30th day were chosen, but because it was knowledge from the 2 canes, no one argued with it. Tokono pushed lightly against his shoulder. Konoe affectionately returned the greeting. Tokono let out a small, pleased purr, but turned inquisitive. Konoe, did something happen? Kind of. Before I got here. Oh, were you fighting? Some guy just picked a fight with me over territory. Oh, territory, huh? Tokono muttered with a distant look. Ransen, where Tokono lived, was Sissa's most prosperous city. Diplomacy with other lands was limited thanks to the enormous coral reef that surrounded Sissa. As a result, Sissa developed independently. Even so, Ransen was always taking in visitors, with cats passing in and out day and night. Hence, the cats of Ransen were not very territorial. Of course, you won, right, Konoe? Yeah. Are you hurt? I'm alright. Oh, I see. That's good to hear. Tokono smiled and laughed, giving a teasing shrug. Even if you had gotten hurt, Konoe, it'd be okay, because I've got lots of medicines that I could, help you with and bandage you up and I'd nurse you back to health and I'd hold your hand and it'd be perfect. What the shit? Are you, trying to sell me something? Well, maybe. Tokono bent down and reached into the heavy luggage near his feet. It was a large, durable woven basket, which he could hang over his shoulder on a stick. From food to medicine, a variety of things were packed in there. At first glance, Tokono had a thinner build than Konoe, but after a closer look, one could see that Tokono's arms, shoulders, and hands were rougher and stronger than Konoe's. It was probably life as a peddler that shaped him this way. But today, Tokono seemed tired. The weight of the basket made him stagger, and fatigue showed on his face. You're staggering. Yeah. There's a festival coming up in Ransen, and we've been busy with preparation still. I'm alright. Oh! Tokono fell on his back, sighed before he could finish speaking. The heavy basket he was carrying made a loud thud. Here we go. Tokono scratched his head with a wry smile. Konoe smiled at the situation. He figured he'd just take the basket from Tokono. It was okay. He was having fun now. Konoe grasped the pole of the basket and turned it around. Tokono stood up in a hurry, dusted off his bottom, and shook his head in a panic. Konoe, it's fine. I'm sorry about that. You're tired, aren't you? Oh, but it's heavy. I'm used to it, really. So please don't worry. It's kind of unreasonable to not worry about it after seeing you fall down like that right in front of me. Tokono's eyebrows lowered as if in apology. Konoe hefted the basket onto his shoulders. Feels like his body might fall. His ears turned down and he looked embarrassed. Oh, they're such a pair of sweetie cats. It's like, oh, don't help me. But I want to help you. It's like, oh, blushies. Then Konoe extended 3 fingers in front of Tokono. This many. This many what? Tokono asked. He blinked several times, confused. 3 of them. 3 of what? Cumes. Oh, that's what you mean. Tokono raised his tail, his eyes sparkling with happiness, and nodded. Cumes were a type of nut, like sweet and sour fruit, and were popular among the Ribika. Konoe loved them. So, since Tokono didn't want him to just carry that basket, Konoe decided to make a trade. Hey, even if you don't do that, don't I always bring you a gift? It's in return for the basket. Excuse... Huh. You sure do put it bluntly. When you fell down a few minutes ago, are you okay? Me? I'm fine. I'm very much alive here. Tokono stomped his feet on the ground and let out a laugh. Konoe gave him a teasing smile in return. Do you want me to, carry you on my back next? Huh? Tokono's eyes widened, an amusing expression. It made Konoe turn away to hide his laughter. Hey, you. You can laugh at that, it's fine. Tokono seemed to be offended, but came around immediately. Konoe carried the basket steadily, but it was definitely heavy. Even so, he talked with Tokono the whole time they walked home.
Someone